You know, my first guest, she's had big hits like Morning Train, For Your Eyes Only, The Lover and Me. And now she's singing and acting in the revival of a Broadway musical, Man of La Mancha, with Raul Julia. Please welcome Sheena Easton. That's a very pretty jacket.
My mother would be very upset.
Why?
My jacket was just, you know, opening a little too much there.
Speaking of color, I hear that you've been taking a beating and you're kind of black and blue under that jacket.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this role is, you know, there's a lot of things involved, but it's very physical, it's very athletic, and I have black and blue marks all over me. You could kind of connect the dots and come up with a very interesting picture, I'm sure. Kind of look like I've been in a Rocky film, you know?
So you're going all out.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it scares me to do something this new. But that's the reason why I'm doing it, because I kind of hit that difficult age, you know, that almost 33 age.
Yeah,
Would you know what that's like?
Oh, hell
age,
yeah.
And, you know, you go through your 20s and you're kind of like just aiming for your career, and that's all you can think about, and you just point in the one direction. And then I found that when I hit, you know, the early 30s, I sort of thought, well, I need more in my life. I need to be charged up again and feel, you know, like I'm excited about things again. So I thought, I want to do something really different and something that I really have to work hard at and learn.
Yeah.
So I thought, the theater, you know, and that's something you can't fake it. 8 shows a week, you can't phone it in, you know.
Right.
You got to be there emotionally every night, so it's good.
I think I aged 30 years tonight out there. Had you ever done a play in high school or anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in drama school for 3 years. And, which probably, maybe, you know, like, I got pretty bad reviews from my college professors in drama school. So it should have put me off, but it didn't. I mean, they said stuff like, you can imagine this, right? I was 17, and I was trying to do this. It was a classical role, you know, it was Chekhov. And all I had to do was walk across the stage carrying a candle. And I did it like 4 times, and finally my professor said, Sheena, that's the worst Natasha I've seen in all my years at this college. And I thought, well, I can't get any worse from this. So I went into the business. You know, it's like the can't get any worse theory, you know, fail upwards.
Now, did you have to audition for this, or did they give it to you because you're big? Oh.
No, I had to prove myself because, you know, a lot of people out there would know that if you say Sheena Easton Broadway, there's going to be an eyebrow shoots up because people don't think if you sing dance music and pop music that you can do something like that. So I had to go and convince the director and the producer that I could do it, and it was a 4-hour audition in New York.
Yeah.
And I was really scared. I mean, I was dressed and ready for like 2 hours before I had to leave my hotel room. I kind of felt like I was my mother. You know, when your mother gets ready to go on a vacation, they sit with their suitcases, you know, for 2 hours before they leave for the train station. So I was really scared, and but I got through it. You know, I did it, and they gave me the job that day on the spot. So.
You talked about people not thinking that a pop star, you know, you do this, you shouldn't do that. Have the critics been affected like that?
A couple of critics wanted to give me the death penalty. You know, it was like, no way, you know, just no way she could. What is she doing? Like, she's going to actually do this? Yeah. I mean, I've had, I guess the polite term is mixed reviews. Some have been really nice and kind and enthusiastic, and some have hated me. And, you know, whether you get a bad or a good review, you have to kind of pull yourself up and go on and do it. And, but, you know, there's something about when you have a bad day like that, somebody thinks that you really are terrible. All the people in the cast rally around you, you know, and all your friends rally around, and you go out and you give a better performance than you've ever done. Yeah. So, it's a learning experience, and I think, you know, I think that as you go along with it, it's something that you grow with. Just like you'll do a monologue tomorrow that might actually work.
We'll be back with Sheena Easton. Gotta go out there. Gotta go out there. Being a U.S. citizen, why is that so important to you?
Well, I've lived here for 10 years, and I have my green card. You know, I'm legal and everything. And I feel very strongly about voting, and it's the only thing that you can't do. You can't vote unless you're a citizen. And, you know, I'm pretty politically active, and if you go out and you do interviews or you try and support somebody that you believe in, a lot of kids say, yeah, but you're not even a citizen. What do you know? So I'm studying now for my citizenship, and I hope to be sworn in next year, and I'm going to vote in the next election, and David Duke ain't going to get it. It's important, you know, because this country stands for everything that's good. It stands for the, you know, individual freedoms and all of those things, and some of our freedoms are being a little bit infringed upon at the moment, so it's made me feel strongly enough to go for it.
Yeah, I know you're very involved or very opinionated about censorship when it comes to music. You know, the title Sugar Walls came up last week. When that song first came out, it was very controversial, and they gave you a lot of flack. I was listening to a song on the radio last night where in the beginning they shoot a woman and throw her out of a limo. Do you think that song would be better accepted now? And does it seem silly to you that you went through so much?
I don't think it would be picked out, you know, and amongst the crowd, so to speak, nowadays, as it was then. That was the height of the conservative wave trying to crush our artistic expression. And I don't think, you know, I think it was kind of silly to me, because I didn't think there was anything to get upset about. But, you know, I think that it's an interesting point that people don't get upset about violence, but they get upset when we're talking about sensuality or, you know, about two people coming together and loving each other and expressing that. And so I think that that's something that we have to be concerned about. I personally only would ever sing a lyric that I could sing in front of my mother, you know. And she's heard Sugar Walls and she still makes me dinner. So, you know. But I think that sometimes it's good when those things happen because it makes an artist stand up and be counted, so to speak, and you talk out, you know, for your own personal freedoms.
Yeah, you've mentioned your mom twice. Are you all very close?
Very close.
You all don't live together, though?
No, we're not that close. No, I left home when I was 17. Yeah, she's, my father died when I was young, so my mother was, you know, the sole support, and she's the one that's responsible for me being here and having that kind of drive to succeed, and, yeah, she's important to me.
Because I read a quote of yours in the late 80s. You said you'd rather die than live alone.
Ooh, see, that sounds like some of those things, you know, those misquotes that happen.
Yeah, because you don't mind living alone.
No. I mean, I have lived alone since I was 17, got my first apartment, most of the time. I have been married a couple of times. Yeah, okay. And I've had friends, you know, sleep over for pajama parties and stuff.
Yeah.
But I actually, I like being alone a lot of the time. I think that might be, though, you know, if I really dug down and tried to admit the truth, maybe living with somebody full-time from now till I die scares me a little. And so...
There's a recently divorced woman. Yes! Amen!
But I want to have kids.
Oh, okay.
I really want to have kids. That's important to me. So there's, you know, there's two Sheenas fighting, you know, at the moment. The one that wants to just keep on being independent, and the other one that wants to have a kid. So maybe I'll even end up, you know, having a child and doing it and raising it by myself. I don't know. What do you think about kids?
Gosh. I think we'd have a beautiful child. Was that the question? I'm sorry. Was that a pass? No. You should have a child. You should have a child now because everything's hot and everything's going good. And wouldn't you love to have a child to see Mommy's work and, you know, and watch Mommy do Man of La Mancha?
Well, I don't think the producers would be too happy. You know, it wouldn't work for my character if it happened right now. Yeah. But I'd like to do it before I'm 35. And that's a couple of years from now, but that's important to me. And maybe someday I'll meet the right guy, or maybe I'll have the courage to commit to another full-term relationship. Maybe I'll grow up enough to do that again.
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell them that they can see Man of La Mancha at the Pantages Theater here in Hollywood. It's December 22nd, through December 22nd, and then you're going to Broadway.
We're going to a couple of different places. We're going to San Francisco and Washington and Boston and Pittsburgh. Then in April, we open in Broadway. So cross your fingers for me.
Yeah, and check your local listing so you can check her out. We'll be back with Nancy Wilson.